Good morning, everyone. This is Taylor Edrington, Royal Gorge Anglers in Canon City, Colorado. This is a video report for the Arkansas River, and we are now in the second week of May and experiencing some very productive fishing. The caddis hatch is pretty much dwindled out. Okay, so the peak caddis activity was honestly about 3 weeks ago, and at this point is sporadic and very localized in nature. So you may see some caddis activity on the river anywhere from Canon City to above Browns Canyon, which gives you over 90 miles of productive caddis water. However, we're not experiencing the very large blowout hatches that you most likely would think of, as we did see early in the caddis hatch, especially on the lower river. So we've kind of changed mindsets at this point, and with the stonefly hatch quickly approaching on the Arkansas, and a little bit more water approaching possibly, we are moving into a more attractor mindset. Still fishing a lot of caddis larvae, being the free swimming caddis, because there are so many different types of caddis in this river. Throughout the summer, a caddis pattern is likely one of your best patterns, especially as an attractor nymph. So we're still fishing those, a lot of times fishing them as the copper pattern in a hopper copper dropper type of rig. We're also changing mindsets, like I said, towards stoneflies. As we're quickly approaching the stonefly hatch on the Arkansas, we are fishing larger attractor dries, and also continue our focus on blue-winged olives, which continue to be pretty much the breadwinner on the entire drainage. So don't forget your blue-winged olive emergers and blue-winged nymphs. So right now, currently we're looking at around 400 CFS on the entire watershed. 340 in Canon City, just over 400 in Bighorn Sheep Canyon, and very clear right now. Perfect clarity this morning. So, really good clarity, really good flow for waders. And so if you are walk wading, this is the time to be here. Also, if you're floating, you've got enough water to make that happen as well at right around that 400 CFS mark. We look to see flows increase in the next few weeks, but we don't know how much that's going to be. Obviously, with almost no snowpack, it could be very short-lived, and we anticipate seeing one of the largest and most active stonefly hatches we've seen in the last decade or so on the Arkansas. So June fishing, early June fishing, and late May fishing could be phenomenal. We're just going to have to take it week by week and see what the flows are doing. But as it sits right now, fishing is extremely productive as it's been throughout the caddis hatch. Just focusing on some different things, blue wings, blue wing emergers and adult blue wings. Great activity throughout the day on the blue wing life cycle. So a few flies I'd like to show you as key patterns that our guides are focusing on now that the hatch is kind of dwindled down. Our guides are really focusing on the lower river. It has been much more consistent than the upper river, and the upper river seems to draw a few more crowds, especially in the Browns Canyon area, where people are trying to chase the hatch. We had guides up there this past week that did find the hatch floating through Browns, but it is pretty slim compared to the hatches that we see in the lower canyon from Texas Creek down. And it seems to be a trend. The largest hatches on the river, blue-winged olives or caddis, seem to be from Valley Bridge down in the last few years. So a few patterns to really focus on. Like I said, really going to a hopper copper dropper type scenario, or nymphing early. Definitely focus on nymphing early and when the sun is high, at its highest point. Really, fish are going to be kind of on the bottom, feeding more regularly when the sun is high and in the morning, although we have had some good productivity on dries in the morning as well. Just be ready to do both. So stoneflies, standard stonefly nymphs, trailing your blue-winged olive emergers and caddis larvae is going to be the way to go. But let me show you a rig that really should be very productive for you in the coming weeks, especially as we start to see stoneflies and hopper activity increase. Your number one fly is going to be a bigger fly than you're used to in the last few weeks. It's going to be something like a VW hopper. This VW hopper is an extremely good pattern, floats high, you can see it, and that's in a size 8. It might be a chubby Norman, which the chubby Chernobyl and chubby Norman many times are some of the best, most productive patterns. This is in a peach underbody with that big wing that you can see a mile away. Very, very high floating and can support a lot of weight if you want to throw a tungsten nymph below it. And we do suggest about a 30-inch drop to your first heavy fly. Also, this is a great top pattern, very visible. This is called the pool toy. Another one of our patterns that we use regularly on the river. An Idlewild pattern, one of Grillos patterns out of the Durango area. And then you go to your copper. So hopper could be any one of the three I just showed you. Needs to be big, needs to float well, and you need to be able to see it. And fish are crushing big flies right now. There's some stonefly activity and there's some other activity, with hoppers, etc. So big flies are a go right now. Then you're going to drop your copper. And the one fly that I'd suggest more than any other, chartreuse prince. Tungsten, gets down, size 14. That's the one fly that I suggest. Don't need any other. It's very productive. Then you're going to drop your blue-winged olive emerger, which could be a number of things, but I suggest something like a batwing emerger, a bars emerger, or an iceberg betas. What I'm showing you right now is a size 20 batwing emerger, which is tied with CDC, get kind of a soft hackle effect there. Then don't forget your streamers. If you want to throw streamers right now, you can throw big ones. You throw them right at the shore, let them swing, get a good retrieve on them. Fish are crushing streamers right now. Early in the morning and later in the afternoon being the key time periods for that. So, little change in game plan, but fishing is extremely productive on the Arkansas. We look forward to seeing you through the shop. Don't quit fishing through the month of May and June. Just keep an eye on those flows. Okay. Thanks so much for viewing, and I hope you have a great day on the water.